Grace and peace, everybody. Good morning. This is a quick live stream. You did not see it coming. You didn't even know what we're going to be talking about. We're going to do a quick reaction to Umar Johnson's interview on Daniel Sadah's channel. Shout out to the young content creator. He seemed like a good guy, man. He seemed like pretty funny guy. He has a good grasp on comedy. And he did a sit-down interview with Umar Johnson. Man, I want Umar to come. Hey, Umar, you come to Atlanta, bruh. We should sit down, man. We should sit down. I have a studio. We can sit down and rap and talk about some of these topics. I think it's interesting because this guy does push back a little bit. I want to give him credit. This young guy does, in fact, push back where a lot of people say that, content creators don't push back or podcasters just give him softball. These are some good questions. I noticed that the video is very well edited, though. So I'm only wondering, speculating, if there might have been some more contention in here, or maybe Umar didn't look as good as he might have wanted to in telling these stories. So I wanted to just jump on this little segment right here. It's not super long, but I want to jump in real quick and just add my little 2 cents to it and tell you what I'm seeing. Let's go.
Say Dr. Umar Johnson is a scammer. What do you have to say about that?
No donors have ever said that. Only jealous YouTubian struggle streamers. We've already been audited by the IRS.
So no donors. So Miss Marianne, the countless others who supported him and now say that they don't support him, they don't count. Only people that donate and again that never push back, never ask questions or whatever like that, they're the only ones that support him. And it just seems odd. And let me also just point out, at what point does he actually show and prove? Like, fine, I'm showing and proving what I've done. I'm showing and proving how in the world we got here. He never does this. And this is a very interesting take as well. Listen to what he says about banking.
So if I was a scammer, I think it would be known by now.
There's been a recent situation where they said that your accounts were frozen.
And what's interesting about that is Donald Trump just came out the other day, and I'm no fan of his, where he said that he's going to issue an executive order against debanking. I didn't know that this was a big deal in America, but banks are debanking people who they don't like.
People say
so, but that's not what happened to Umar Johnson. Umar Johnson was probably had his accounts frozen because of fraud. And because he's a fraudster. But notice he's never talked about that anymore. He got in the car, struggle streamed in the car about how terrible it was. His accounts were frozen and he couldn't pay his bills and couldn't take care of his mom. And of course, can't take care of responsibilities of those abandoned crack houses that he bought. That's been almost like 2-3 months, probably, maybe even longer. He's never talked about it again. Like, where are you with the banks? Are your bank accounts frozen or unfrozen? Did you get new accounts? What did you do? He's not going to tell us. Okay, let's go.
That came at a coincidental timing when
they tried to
auction our
because buildings behind our back.
Yeah. What is your response to people saying that that's coincidental?
What's coincidental?
For example, they're trying to say that you created that story of account being frozen so that you can get more money from people to then pay off that.
Well, we have the paperwork from the bank telling us that they will no longer offer us their services. That's on paper. I don't believe in coincidence.
That's fine, but banks you could be being debanked and having a bank saying we no longer want to do business with you are two different things. If you are selling illegal gerbils, across interstate highways and the bank says they no longer want to deal with you because we know you're a gerbil smuggler, they can do that. Now, that's not what happened to Umar. I mean, that's more akin to what happened to Umar. What Trump is talking about is because of speech, there have been people who have been unable to have a bank account at all. That's a whole different game. That is not the same thing. There's an argumentation that Umar is doing things that are wrong. And I think that needs to be addressed, not this phony, fake, and false narrative that, oh, they're debanking me because they don't like what I'm saying. No, that's not the case at all, sir, because you would be in another category of that. There's a possibility, sir, you're doing fraud or at least being looked at for fraud. But then on the same note, we don't know because you haven't actually told us.
incidences. I believe that that was done on purpose. I think that whole thing was a conspiracy to strip us of our buildings. You wait all this time to try to sell our buildings for an old bill, and you do it as soon as the accounts are frozen, and don't tell us nothing.
People say
So the banks and the city of Wilmington are in cahoots, because you make it sound like the city of Wilmington knows that your accounts are frozen. So are they like in cahoots? Are they in conspiring against you, Umar? Come on, man. You smarter than this, my guy.
the one thing that they use to try and delegitimize Dr. Umar Johnson is the fact that it's taken over 10 years.
We raised money for 5 years, and I have no problem with that. It took us 5 years to get to school. I had no problem with that. Should it have taken as long? No. We went through a lot with our contractors. We were scammed.
So notice again, and Umar does this all the time, there is zero accountability. Now he went down, like he had his blinker on to turn left on Accountability Boulevard, but he continued on Victimhood Avenue. He's like, well, should have taken that long. No, but we were scammed. Like he instead of just saying like, look, we just didn't do a good job. And we didn't lay out a good framework and a good plan and a good roadmap. So we messed up a lot. I think more people would probably respect that than him saying what he's about to say.
Ripped off, we were robbed.
People say that when you talk about things needed to get done, it's always another thing. Like, tomorrow's the day that never comes. That's what people say, right?
Things take time. Things always have to be repaired because you miss things in the initial repairs. So I don't.
That's not true. That's not true. No, if you get a good contract, if you got your homie Leroy with a ladder and a screwdriver, then you're going to get what you get, and you better not bitch a fit. No, that's not the case. Sir, you hire a professional contractor, it should be done one time. I take my car to a mechanic. I have not had to go back. Well, I take that back one time to get something done. But for the most part, over 20 years, very little has ever needed to be reevaluated. That's what we're talking about. The painters that painted my house recently, they came back to do a touch-ups because they came back and investigated and searched after the paint dried on the house. They went by and did it again and said, oh, here's some spots in some areas that we need to touch up. No, to say and make it commonplace that, oh, the reason this has been put off, the reason we haven't been able to do this is because there's always something that goes wrong. That's not true. Not when you hire good professional persons. And by the way, there's an argument out there that we don't know who these people are that you're hiring. Nobody's been able to find the permits for them. Actually, you hiring a licensed electrician, a licensed plumber, a licensed fill in the blank. So where are those permits at, sir? Maybe that should work.
Do you have a date that you think is actually?
I'm not giving no more date because every time I gave a date, we never met the date. And the reason we never met the date is I was depending on a contractor. And so when they betrayed the date, we had to betray the date.
Kai said that he's building a school in Nigeria.
Okay, I know he is.
And
I met him.
During that time, everybody was attacking him, telling him he's scammers. To dispel the haters, he gave full financial transparency and told everything that was going on. Can you give full financial transparency?
I can, but I wouldn't.
Okay, why not?
Because the only people we are accountable to are our donors. If you're not a donor, we owe you nothing. We are not a publicly funded school.
Would you do?
Why? But see, that's the thing. That's that pigeon. I said it before. He paints himself into a hole or paints himself into a corner, so to speak. He only gives money to donors. And if you're a donor that asks questions, then you get kicked out. So who can actually ask you questions? And why do you feel like you're not accountable to the people that will eventually be wanting to send their kids to your school? Like, don't you think that the parents of Wilmington, Delaware, because that's where your school is located, don't you think that you should at least be transparent to them because they're going to be the ones that are going to be trusting you with their boys? Don't you think that would work? Is that a lap too far? I don't think so. Shout out to this young blood for at least asking the question.
That to the donor.
Sure. My donors, yeah. But the donors don't care because they understand what we're going through. The donors have been there through the whole ride. It's the haters who have all the questions, and the haters don't matter.
Do you believe that there are any people that do doubt you that might be valid, like logically conclusive, like they're not just haters?
If you have never donated to the FDMG Academy, you can ask all the questions you want, but we owe you no answers.
Okay, what about the ones that do that still doubt?
I don't know of any donor who doubts. 99% of our donors are repeat donors. I even know their names. We never get one donation. People donate to us over and over and over again. So if they had questions, they would ask.
So because people ask questions, they know. So because they donate, they bought into the pipe dream, they bought into the hype, and they give you $25 a week, all right? And they're donating that on a regular basis, put it on regular repeat, give. They don't ask questions. They don't ever scratch their head like, why is the school, why is he jet setting from Texas to Atlanta to Boston to Brazil? He's going out of the country. When is the school working on? Like, how are you zeroing in on the school when you're doing these things? So because donors don't ask those questions. Okay.
The people asking the questions are haters who don't donate. I pay them no mind. See, the issue is they want me to be accountable to people who don't support us. I would be a fool to do that. I don't know of no corporation in America that say, hey, come look at all of our paperwork, all of our financial transactions. Nobody does that. This is a business. And when you have haters like I have, you got to protect your interests and protect your business. So I don't care what they say. It's all about divine timing. When God is ready for the school to be done, it'll be done.
Once that happens, I feel like a lot of people will be quiet.
No, they won't. They'll move the goalpost. Before, they said we'd never get a school. 5-6 years ago, he'll never get a school. He just scammed. We ended up with 2 schools. Not
you don't
one.
actually
Then
have
they
schools,
said
though.
It'll never open. And then when
You have abandoned buildings. You don't have schools. You still haven't hit the first benchmark. You bought buildings. That building could own could house a bakery. That building could house a gym. It could house anything, sir. You don't have a school. You have buildings. There is a difference. No, I don't believe. Thank you so much for jumping in. I don't believe he'll ever open a school. I don't believe that there's ever an intention to open a school. And I'll tell you why. I don't believe he doesn't even have an intention to open a school, because think about it. All of the logistics that would go into that, all of that would go into it from the HR and the staffing aspect of all these teachers and professionals that you're going to have and all of this. I mean, the book for starting a school would be monstrous. Don't you think this man would be telling us that, would be showing us if he had proof and evidence? But he never does. That's the thing. He never flips the screen and say, hey, let me show you the receipts from this HVAC. Hey, let me show you the receipts from this, that, and the other. Never, because he never intended. These bandos, these abandoned buildings, in my opinion, were just meant to be a proof of concept so people can keep sending donations. That's it. I mean, there's no other reason to believe anything else. He hasn't shown you anything proof about starting a school. There's no curriculum, for crying out loud. There's nothing that shows you what he's going to teach, that he's serious about it. He jokes and says he's going to be the history teacher. So that means you're not going to be jet setting around the world. You're going to be there at the school teaching? Come on, my guy. That makes no sense at all. I think anything in a community would be, but this is not it, though. This is not it. There's a Boys and Girls Club next door to his buildings, and they're thriving. So why can't he just go and open the school up? Why are you not doing after school program? I'm gonna take a little deviation from this, and I'm gonna bring up, shout out to King Randall and X School for Boys, or X School, for boys. And he's teaching these boys how to change oil in the car right here on his Twitter page. And mind you, this dude started this school in his kitchen. He has built, he's donor supported, the whole nine. Everything that Umar claims he wants to do, this guy is. And his name is King Randall, X School for Boys. Shout out to him. And I've looked at him before. I've reached out to him as well. He's doing a king's job. His name is King for a reason. He's doing a great job. And this is exactly what the community needs. But why is Umar not even doing oil changes, my guy? Like literally, he's taking your car, changing the oil, and showing the boys how to change oil, how to change tires. How useful is that? I got daughters. This is a useful skill for somebody to come knocking on my door. He's teaching them how to do this. Why is Umar not doing this? He did a video about how to teach the boys how to eat with dinner forks at a formal dinner, how to shake hands, just some basic things that our boys don't know how to do. Why is Umar not doing that? If Umar is serious, he would be doing this. Oh, now he does take them to the gun range, teaches them how to respect weaponry. Shout out for that. And again, I just think, why is Umar not doing that if he cared? Look at this. I didn't even see this. He's teaching these boys how to pressure wash walkways. Boy, I'm telling you right now, that's a skill. That's a skill, right? That look, he's teaching these boys how to fish, so to speak. He ain't giving them the fish. He's teaching them how to fish. Shout out to King Randall. I mean, they were up here. They're up here in Atlanta. Shout out. So again, he's doing a book club. Y'all stop playing. He did a book club with these boys. And what did he read? Up From Slavery. Like, why is Umar not even doing that? Just something basic, man. A book club, an after school reading club. If he cared so much about it. If he was really about that life, he would do that. That's my take. Catch me outside. Tell me I'm wrong. If Umar Johnson really cared, he would be doing something like that. He wouldn't be jet setting around. He wouldn't be podcasting. Everybody, okay, fine. I don't see King Randall on a lot of podcasts. I don't see him all over wherever jet setting around. I see him at that school being a participant in the education of that community. And he's here in Georgia. Shout out to King Randall. Let's finish this up.
When we open it, they'll just move and move. Because this is not about the truth. This is about slander.
But that's the thing. You talk about speak about the analytics that are on your Instagram and how big that reach is. Don't you think that the way you channel that messaging to that reach can help change the image that people have? Because I do think there are well-minded black people that doubt you. I've had my doubts.
Which is fine. I don't care what none of y'all think.
But I'm saying
but that's, you do care. Again, this young guy right here, I think he did a good job. He did a better job than most at pushing back and asking secondary and developmental and tertiary questions to Umar Johnson. You know what? I got to give him shit. I got to give him props for that because he's not just taking one answer and moving on. So he's asking those questions. He's saying, well, what about isms and so on and so forth? What about this group of people? That I think he's doing a good job. So shout out to him.
Especially when I saw you in Atlanta that day. It's genuinely what changed it because you spoke to every individual. Everybody was asking you a question because it shows that you wanted to dedicate every bit of you to the people in that community. And it was a small subset of people in West Atlanta. And I'm from Atlanta, so to see people do that, it's like, I can't say that's fake. The only criticism I could say is working on how that is personified. And I think a good example of that is not giving a date again.
For me, I think it's disingenuous to not focus on how the critics have undermined the success of FDMG. We have been outright sabotaged. We have been reported to LNI. We have been reported to the Attorney General. I have been reported to the FBI. Nobody talks about the sabotage that is done.
So again, like I said, I've said this before, like Umar is like the most unlucky person on the planet. Like everything happens against Umar. Like he just has a series of unfortunate events. Like nothing can go right. He can't get good contractors. He can't get, they put the screws in upside down. They can't get good paint. They paint it they paint it backwards. Everything happens against them. They've report him to the FBI and the licensing and permitting department and all of this stuff. Like everything works against Umar. Nothing is Umar's fault. And that's got to be tiring where you're literally just blaming. You take no responsibility at all. None whatsoever to fix any of your problems. It's always somebody else's fault. That's got to be exhausting, man.
To keep the school from opening by the very same people who criticize it. That's hypocrisy.
Well, the people that doubt him, I feel like I've said every opinion in the argument.
If you doubt me, you.
That's the greatest end of the video. We done.
So, yeah, I disagree. I think, no, like Umar could be doing something if he really wanted to. That's what I'm saying. If he really wanted to, he could be doing something great for his community, if that's what he was all about. And let me bring in King Randall. Let me end with King Randall again. I mean, this guy is doing a great job. He's taking them around. He's introducing his kids to political aspects, books, something about Christmas. I don't know what that is. Teach them how to make gingerbread houses. I don't know. We watched them right here. They were learning how to pressure wash. I mean, that's dope right there, man. That is a skill, man. You can make a lot of bread doing pressure washing. Pressure washing and window cleaning in the South. Let me tell you something. Doing some pressure, wait, hold on. Let me just show you real quick. Doing some pressure washing right now. We're also less than $300 away from a 10% mark of our $350 goal to have our school ready to run. Y'all have been telling me how exciting you are to see us posting so many updates. So I'll keep you updated. And that was in March 20th of 2022. And that school is open now. That school is open for business. Let me roll up here. Let's go to their site real quick, just so you can see. Shout out to the X School for Boys. Their school is open. So that was in 2022. He was trying to raise enough money to open a school, and now the school is open. It's 2025. Shout out to King Randall. I don't know why this page is looking like this. Why is it looking vacuous? Why is it looking like that? Let's refresh it real quick. But yeah, all I want to point out is just that I think Umar, I'm going to stand on it. Umar is still a scammer. Let me leave. Y'all go check out. If you want to see somebody who's doing it, shout out to King Randall. I think the brother is doing a great job. I don't know why this page is loading weird. It might be a conspiracy. Now, there we go. There we go. Life Preparatory School for Boys, established 2021. So this is only 4 years old. Shout out. Let's accept these cookies. Get this thing out the way. All right. They accept donations. So this is a donation-run program, just like Umar says that his is. Automotive repair workshops, home improvement workshops, reading literacy. Umar could be doing a reading club right now. He doesn't need, he got the building. You could be doing a reading club right there at the Boys and Girls Club right next door if he was serious. But he's not. I think we all know this at this point. He's not serious. Learning how to change tires, learning how to do brakes. Come on now. And there's a lot of stuff that they learn. I mean, they're doing a great job. And just click on their home, learn how to paint houses. Come on. Is that not a skill that would be useful in the world? Come on. Learning how to properly respect a gun and how to shoot a weapon. Plasma cutting and welding. Home improvement, fixing a toilet, changing a light bulb, changing a fan, painting, changing out the lock. This is what they need. Woodworking, how to do a fence. They need safety goggles, though. Building a fence. Auto repair. These are things that are useful. Like if Umar was serious, why is he not doing these things? I'm just saying, you over here talking about pie in the sky. People don't want to respect me. Give, at least he trying. No, this brother is doing right here. And I'm pretty certain, without even knowing, if we reached out to King Randall and said, hey, man, can we see your 5-year plan? I bet you he has something. I bet you he has it somewhere. Can I see your 5-year plan? Can I see your multidisciplinary plan for the next 10 years? I bet you he has something. Ask Umar that same thing. I mean, they're doing the thing. Look, I just went and took my car to get my brakes done. These brothers could have did it. Right here, man. Look, that's what I'm saying. So, shout out to King Randall. Shout out to Daniel Sadah is the young man that was interviewing Umar Johnson. Shout out to him, man. He asked questions. He did a better job than some top tier podcasters, in my opinion. So I want to give him credit for that. At least he did that. I just wish he had pushed more. The only thing I could think of, though, is that video is extremely edited. I'm wondering if some of the answers that Umar gave, maybe Umar didn't want those answers to get out. Maybe Umar didn't like that he couldn't answer that question properly. Hey, take that question out, or because some of the answers you can see that they moved them around. So I'm just wondering. shout out to everybody who's jumped into the Best Life Chat. Thank y'all so much. This is a members only. I just wanted to do something for y'all this morning, just real quick. I said I would look at this. I was going to do a response to it. Then I said, let me just look at this last little snippet where he's talking about the school and gives a little bit of context, what I think could potentially be a better move for Umar. But I mean, we all know what he's going to do, but I think it could be better for sure. That's community building, Boston Man says. Absolutely. And here's the link to the X School for Boys. Thank y'all so much for checking them out. I was looking at the comments in the channel link in the description and found this. Is Umar a scammer? Is the sun hot? Thank you so much, Honey Bun. That's hilarious. And I should have read some of the comments. I'm sure they're crazy. Shout out to Boston Man again. The programs will help a community build, whether in neighborhoods. I think you mean no matter what the neighborhood. That's what I think you're saying there. Oh, shout out to K My Way for sure. Thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate y'all this morning. My man, President Not Perfect, he's in the building. He's absolutely up in here. Thank y'all so much for that. Good morning to all of y'all for sure. I just thought this would be a good video. There are some other fun ones coming up the rest of the day, but I appreciate y'all checking those out as well. Thank y'all so much for liking what we've been putting out. It means a lot that it tells me that, hey, I'm on the right path, that you all like what's going on. You watch the videos, you like them, you comment. Those kind of things right there are invaluable. I cannot say it enough. I really do mean it. Thank you so much for doing that. And thank you for being members of the channel. It means a lot that y'all rock with me. Y'all go above and beyond to be a part of what we're doing here, support what we're doing, and encourage me to keep doing more. So I appreciate it. And I just want to say thanks so much. This is I'm going to do this as a one and done. I'm not going to clean it up or edit it. So thank y'all so much for checking it out. Everybody have a great rest of the day. I will see you all this afternoon. Until then, grace and peace. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the Jay Witt Podcast. If you enjoyed today's show, please do me a favor and hit me up with that 3-piece special. Like the video, subscribe, and of course, share it with somebody who would also enjoy this type of content. And make sure you leave a comment because I do pin the best comments to the top. So thank you so much for tuning in today. And until next time, everybody, grace and peace.